Hi everyone. This is the October wrap up for this year. It's theoretically going to be quite short because I've only actually got 4 books to review. But on the other hand, 2 of them are nearly 1,000 pages long. So it's plenty to talk about. Ready to get started? The first book was The Kindly Ones by Jonathan Littell, which is a translation. He originally wrote it in French as Les Bienveillants, but I decided that I was not going to buy it in French, at least until after I read it in English, because 900 pages of French didn't quite, appeal somehow. And that very quickly turned out to be a good idea, because there is a bit quite early on where all of these random chaps are talking and they've all got very similar names and you can't really tell what's happening in English, never mind in French. Anyway, this book is about a chap called Max who is sort of reminiscing about his experiences during the war when he was in the SS. So he's not exactly a very likable person. And then on top of that, he has some additional problems. I think, quite honestly, being in the SD is like less of a problem than some of the things that he starts out having when he's a kid. So basically he is a mess. But I don't know, I quite enjoyed reading it. It seems to be one of those books you either love or hate. And, well, maybe not love, but certainly feel okay about or hate. I happen to be in the feel okay camp. It seems like a strange choice, but obviously, not many people are going to choose to read a book about this guy who's in the SS, who is basically just kind of horrible, and fucked up. But, I thought that it sounded like something that I might be quite interested in, given that one of my own characters is in the SS. Yeah. I would probably not recommend this to anyone, though. It's something of a commitment, not for the light-hearted. So we'll move on to The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell, which is also quite long. It's about 600 pages. It's sort of a bit like Cloud Atlas in that it's kind of a fantasy novel set in our world. And certainly I think they are compatible. You could almost argue that they happen in the same world, like all of David Mitchell's books apparently link with each other. In this one, it's sort of about this normal girl, this normal human girl with psychic abilities who gets sucked into a war between sort of semi-supernatural people. It's quite cool. I did like this book. I think it would be a good choice if you like sort of dark things. There's a lot of environmental commentary, like there is in Cloud Atlas. Got some pretty bleak visions of the future. David Mitchell has. Bit depressing. Not the kind of thing you want to read when the weather is gross. I can say that for sure. And it is currently at the moment. So, just, topical reference. Then, moving on from that, we come to the second massive thing, which is the Rogues Anthology, edited by George R. Martin and Gardner Dozois. I don't know how he pronounces his name. I've never even heard of him before this point. They've produced several anthologies which are themed around some key words. So this one happens to be rogues. There's one which is dangerous women, and there's one which is about warriors. And there's a whole range of contributions from lots of different genres. Quite a few famous authors in here. The problem with anthologies, though, is that some of the things are great and you love them, and some of them are truly shite. And there were several in here which I won't be going and looking at more by those authors. But the things that were really good were really good. And I have got a few new people to look up things by. Although having done so a bit since, it would appear that maybe some of their stuff isn't as great. And some of them I was thinking to look up anyway. So, you win some, you lose some. After all of that, it's something of a relief to know that the last book is quite thin. And that's Prince's Gambit, which is the second in the Captive Prince trilogy. Can't really give away the details of the trilogy unless you've already started it. But yeah, things develop. If you're a bit iffy about the first book and the interactions between the characters, and you don't like that so much, I can assure you in this book it is greatly improved, and there is much less of the between the two main characters anyway. So if you were not sure whether you were going to carry on with the trilogy, I would say give it a go. But yeah, very enjoyable. Looking forward to the third one coming out, but this is next year. Very short video this time. Things to look forward to next time. I've been reading a lot of books this month, so next month is going to be really long again, although you probably don't like that anyway. Yeah, pretty much. Feel free to send me your comments or your questions, like why was I even reading that first book. Otherwise, until next time.